Hello NFL fans, welcome back to Touchdown Kingdom, your go-to channel for the latest NFL news and content. If you enjoy our videos, make sure to show your support by liking, commenting with your predictions, and subscribing, as we'll consistently bring you more exciting content like this. Today, we're going to go over our 2023 NFL Major Award winners, as well as one underdog with the opportunity to make a step into the race for each one. Today's NFL is extremely talented, and stars don't stay around for long, so picking these awards was extremely difficult, and we'd love to hear any other opinions in the comment section below. Predicting a huge breakout season from a player feels great, and if anyone does so in the comment section below, we'll be sure to shout you out in the next one of these videos first. The first award we will go over is the Comeback Player of the Year, and this award could be won just based on one play, and deservedly so. If Damar Hamlin manages to recover enough to where he will be able to play a snap on defense this year, it will be one of the most miraculous comeback stories of all time, and he would almost certainly win the award. While he is cleared for football activities and is an active participant in practice, it would be wrong of the NFL to not bestow this award to him with his extremely terrifying injury against the Bengals last season. It would be incredible to see him play at a high level again, and he would deserve this award no matter how he performs on the field. If Damar Hamlin is not given this award, strong candidates for Comeback Player of the Year would include Breece Hall and Cooper Kupp, but it seems like Hamlin's award to lose. Next up are the Rookie Awards, which are for the Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. The Offensive Rookie of the Year is interesting in 2023 because although there were 3 quarterbacks selected in the top 4, none of them are the favorite to win the award. And here at Touchdown Kingdom, we agree with the favorite for this award. Bijan Robinson is our pick to win the award and is in the perfect position to put up monster stats as a rookie. Bijan is the highest drafted rookie running back since Saquon Barkley and was completely dominant in all facets of the game during his 3 years at Texas. He also scored a 9.84 out of 10 on the relative athletic score, which ranks 29th out of 1,740 running backs since 1987, which is calculated by MathBomb on Twitter. He can run both outside and in between the tackles and has great hands out of the backfield. Nearly all running backs picked in the first round put up great numbers because of their high usage rates, and in an Arthur Smith-ran system, he is primed for success. Under Arthur Smith, Derrick Henry was able to set career highs with 1,540 yards on the ground one season and over 2,000 yards the next. The Falcons don't have a good quarterback, and outside of Drake London and Kyle Pitts, their receiver core isn't great either, so Bijan is going to be the best possible situation to succeed for the Falcons. The only downside is that the Falcons also have Tyler Algier, who was great as a rookie last season, so they may give him the ball in some short yardage or goal line situations to save Bijan's usage. Bijan is going to thrive in the run-first offense, and it would be a surprise if he totals under 1,500 total yards without any injuries. As an underdog for this award, we have Quentin Johnson on the Chargers. He was drafted as the second highest wide receiver to the Chargers as an ultra-athletic wide receiver out of TCU. He is a physical specimen and is paired with one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL in Justin Herbert. Although he has 2 great receivers ahead of him on the depth chart, they are both injury prone, and in the case that one or both of them miss time, Johnson could easily total 1,100 yards. For Defensive Rookie of the Year, we will have the number 3 overall pick, edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. of the Houston Texans. At Alabama, Anderson proved time and time again why he was a blue-chip prospect, and the Texans showed how much they believe in him when they traded up from 12 with the 33rd pick and their first-rounder next year. The Texans' new head coach is DeMeco Ryans, who was previously the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, and under him this past season, Nick Bosa won the Defensive Player of the Year while leading the league in sacks. So it is obvious that DeMeco pushed for Anderson to have a dominant edge rusher to fit in his defensive scheme. But an underdog to win the award is B.J. Ojulari, who was the Cardinals' second-round pick as an edge rusher out of LSU. Ojulari was seen by many as one of the most pure pass rushers in the draft, and he is going to play under the Eagles defensive coordinator from last season, who led multiple players to over 10 sacks. The Cardinals have awful defensive line depth, and if Ojulari is immediately thrown in as the starter like he should be, he could put up enough numbers to take this award home. For Offensive Player of the Year, our pick is Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase. Chase is an absolute stud with one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Joe Burrow throwing him the ball. In 2021, Chase had one of the greatest rookie receiver seasons of all time, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year and helping lead the Bengals to a Super Bowl. Despite battling many injuries last season, Chase played 12 games, racking up 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. The Bengals are a hungry team that are looking to strike now before they have to pay their two biggest stars in Burrow and Chase a ton of money to keep them while keeping a solid roster and defense around them. An interesting statistic that shows just how good Chase can be this season is that even though he played 5 less games, he had 6 more targets over the whole season than he had in his rookie year. Ja'Marr was on pace to get 123 receptions last season without injury, and his yards per reception were unusually low, so we can assume his yardage per game will increase as well. In order for Ja'Marr to win Offensive Player of the Year, he would likely have to have around 1,700 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns, and in a full season, those numbers are more than achievable for the star out of LSU. An underdog to win this award is Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets. Last season, he showed just how electric he was despite awful quarterback play, and he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And now he has Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball. Rodgers has targeted number 1 receivers at a historically high rate, which is shown by Devontae Adams' production, and Garrett Wilson certainly has the talent to put himself in the conversation as a top 5 receiver in the league after this year. For Defensive Player of the Year, we have Micah Parsons. Parsons is a game changer. Since he stepped foot in the NFL, all he has done is dominate the competition, playing both edge rusher and a traditional linebacker role. Where Micah has particularly excelled is edge rusher, where he produces some of the highest pass rush win rates in the league, and it is reported that he is gaining muscle this offseason to transition to a full-time edge rusher. With this role full-time, it would not be out of the question for Parsons to put up 20 sacks after he has put up 13 in each of the past 2 seasons. The Cowboys' defensive backroom has also gotten better, so with stickier coverage, it leaves more time for Parsons to get to the quarterback and get himself this hardware. An underdog for this award could be Derwin James of the Chargers. Derwin has been one of the best safeties in the league since getting drafted, but has always seemed to have injury problems. As the Chargers are in a pivotal year in the Justin Herbert era, Derwin is going to have to step up and lead a shaky defense to a playoff berth, and he could certainly put up monster stats while also having a huge impact on improving the Chargers' pass defense if fully healthy. He is one of the most dynamic defenders in the league, delivering big hits while being a very versatile safety that can play in the box and in coverage. If the Chargers defense allows under 20 points per game and Derwin improves his stats, he could be the first safety to win the award since Troy Polamalu in 2010. And now, for the most anticipated award, our MVP prediction of the 2023 NFL season is Joe Burrow. The AFC North is going to be a dogfight this year, with all 4 teams believing that they can make the playoffs and all seem to be healthy going into the new season. They all have their franchise quarterbacks, and they all have stellar rosters across both offense and defense. Joe Burrow having the best regular season out of any quarterback is what would lead Ja'Marr Chase to getting the Offensive Player of the Year award we predicted earlier, and Burrow will have to put on a great performance every week in order to keep the Bengals on top of this loaded division. The AFC is competitive at a level that is unprecedented to any other year, and in order to make the playoffs, Burrow will have to consistently have great games, and for him to win the MVP, it is likely that he'll have to have around 40 touchdowns and almost 5,000 passing yards, which is certainly possible for him, with the loaded offense around him, including Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and an improved offensive line. These awards are so hard to predict in advance because obviously anything can happen, but we feel that Joe Burrow is in a year where he can solidify himself as the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes, and do so by putting up monster stats while leading the Bengals to be the 1 seed in the AFC. The pieces are all around him. He just needs to pull off a better start to the season than he did in 2022, where he threw 4 interceptions against the Steelers and less than 200 passing yards against the Cowboys in Week 2. We believe in Joe Burrow as he attempts to lead the Bengals to a Super Bowl. An underdog that not enough people are talking about for this award is in the same division, and although he looked terrible last season, Deshaun Watson is in the perfect situation to succeed in 2023. The Browns have the best runner in football with Nick Chubb, a good number 1 wide receiver in Amari Cooper, a good tight end in David Njoku, 2 solid wide receivers in Donovan Peoples-Jones and Elijah Moore, and a great offensive line. Although he will still be hated by most of the NFL community, he has a chance once again to prove himself as a star quarterback with all of the talent surrounding him. For Coach of the Year, we have Frank Reich of the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are in a weak division, and if Bryce Young looks good and the Panthers are able to win the division over the Saints and Falcons, he could certainly win Coach of the Year. Just last year, we saw a similar situation with Brian Daboll coming into New York, not expected to make the playoffs, but he was able to make it, scheme up a masterful offense, and even make it to the divisional round without any star pass catchers. And we believe that Frank Reich is certainly capable of making a similar impact on the Carolina Panthers, and if he does, he will win Coach of the Year while helping Bryce Young's development. Well, that's all for us today, but be sure to like, subscribe, and leave your predictions in the comments section, as we would love to hear what you agree with, what you disagree with, and anything else you'd like to add about the upcoming season. We'll be coming out with more videos just like this at the Touchdown Kingdom, so make sure to stay tuned.